Have you ever had a teacher with literally no common sense? Mrs. Hoffman, my 10th grade chemistry teacher, was convinced I was a troublemaker despite never having caused problems in class. It began when she caught Jake setting up a prank in the lab. I walked in as she scolded him, and somehow she decided I must have been his accomplice. I tried to explain I had just arrived, but she snapped, "I know your type, Emily, always thinking you're so clever." From that day on, I became her target. During experiments, she hovered over my shoulder, ever watchful for a mistake. When I measured chemicals perfectly, she eyed me as if I were plotting an explosion. Once, after my lab partner knocked over a beaker, she immediately pointed at me. "Detention, Emily," she declared. I protested. "But Sarah did it," and several classmates agreed. Her face reddened. Talking back? That's another detention. The crisis deepened during a chemistry exam. I had studied for days, determined to prove my ability. When the tests were returned, mine shockingly displayed a big red 65%. Devastated, I approached her desk. "Mrs. Hoffman, I think there might be a mistake on my test." She barely looked up and replied, "No mistakes. Perhaps you should study harder instead of causing disruptions." Summoning my courage, I asked, "Could you please show me which questions I got wrong?" With a dramatic sigh, she flipped through my paper. To my shock, several correct answers were marked wrong. When I pointed out the matching formulas from our textbook, she brushed it off with, "The textbook must be outdated." The breaking point came at the science fair. I had poured weeks into my experiment on crystal formation. The morning of judging, I set up my display early. After fetching water for a last-minute demonstration, I returned to find my project ruined. My carefully prepared solutions had been mixed together. I was fighting back tears when Mrs. Hoffman passed by. "Disqualified," she announced. "Projects must be ready on time." I cried out, "But someone sabotaged my display." And she theatrically responded, "I don't see anyone else here." Another excuse, Emily? That evening, I tearfully recounted everything to my parents, who were furious. The next morning, they accompanied me to school and requested a meeting with the principal, Mrs. Hoffman, and the head of the science department. In the principal's office, my parents calmly presented evidence: my record of A's in science, statements from other teachers, and my original test showing the scoring errors. Mr. Daniels, the science head, confirmed that several of my correct answers had been wrongly marked. The principal then asked Mrs. Hoffman, "Can you explain this discrepancy?" Shifting uncomfortably, she muttered, "Perhaps I was hasty in my grading." Then my dad revealed, "We checked the hallway security footage from yesterday morning." My heart nearly stopped when the video clearly showed Mrs. Hoffman approaching my display, furtively mixing my solutions before walking away with a slight smile. The room fell silent. Mrs. Hoffman stammered, "I was just testing if you did the experiment correctly." No one believed her. The principal dismissed my parents and me, and 20 minutes later, we returned to an apology explaining that she had been arbitrarily targeting several students. My grade was corrected, I was allowed to redo my project, and within a week, a new chemistry teacher replaced her. Mrs. Hoffman was placed on administrative leave and ultimately resigned. Months later, I even received a letter of recommendation from her praising my exceptional chemistry aptitude and admirable character. I never understood why she singled me out, but I learned the importance of standing up for myself, even against those in power.